Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Sotaku of Soutenkz with another episode of Progressing in the Greater Rifts. But before I get there, I want to just talk about how to get geared up to do the Greater Rifts, to be able to go to Tier 6. Did I say Tier 6? Torment 6, Torment 8, Torment 10. Torment 10 is kind of like 45, Greater Rift 45. So if you look at this list right here, it tells you Greater Rift. 45 is Torment 10, 40 is Torment 9, 35. So every 5 levels, essentially, or 6 levels, you go to another level of Torment. And how do you gear up for that, right? So part of me, when I first started as a monk, I wasn't able to even do Torment 1. So I went on to the community. Communities are super important. Right now I have key runs and Ubers, monks. You actually don't even need the key runs anymore, to be honest. Let's leave that community because you can't really run for keys now in the new 2.0. You can only do it by yourself. You can do it with other people, but if they kill the monster and you weren't there, you can't get the key. So make sure you're on the monks chat. This is just the standard monk. It's not seasoned monks. It's just the monk community. So when you find your community, just go down and try to find, you can filter for monks or power level and so on and so forth. And you can see which ones you can join. This is for clans. Whoops. Find communities is on the bottom, so it's on the bottom. I did season power leveling. This is probably the most important channel to use, because when you first start, you're probably going to get some help leveling to 70, because I'm not sure if you want to level it from 1 to 70 yourself. That takes quite a bit of time. If you don't want to do that, it takes like maybe an hour or two. You'll go from 1 to 70 real quick with Torment 6 power leveling from a geared person. Also, I'll be running people at a later point, so find my name. It's Sotaku, and add me. Let me know if you need some power leveling. I'll definitely take care of you. After you get power to level 70, of course, try to get some gear. Try to pick up some gear as you're being power leveled. There's legendaries always drop. Get some legendaries. Now you're gonna go for the Uliana set. So it consists of the helm, shoulder piece, the chest piece, the arms, the hands piece, the legs piece, the feet piece. The belt, you want to go with the Binding of the Lost. This whole build is built for Exploding Palm and 7-sided strike. Make sure you have the Gondo gear with cold damage. Cold damage is what we're going for. Make sure you have the standard focus and restraint set piece. Now, what I'm doing is I'm utilizing the Kanai's Cube. After you get to 70, make sure you get the Kanai's Cube. There's a quest with Zonku to get the cube in the new area that Blizzard made. I'll show you. It's in Act 3. It's called the Runes of Cestron, and you go in there and you get the cube, and you come back and it'll be in all the home bases. You go in the cube and you're allowed 3 additional pieces of gear. I used the Flow of Eternity, the Spirit Guards, and the Broken Promises. The Broken Promises is great because if you have 5 consecutive non-critical hits, your chance to crit hit is increased by 100%. So that means you're going to for sure hit 100% for the next 3 seconds. 3 seconds is tremendous, especially since you have 7-sided strike, and the Lion's Claw, which gives you additional 7-sided strike. So every time you press it, you get 14 strikes, and within that 3 seconds, that's a tremendous amount of DPS. And I'm using the Fist of Astaroth, and this gives me a advantage of getting additional. On mine is almost at 100% exploding palm damage, which is tremendous. My next goal is getting these to ancient status so I can get some more DPS. I'm pushing up to the 50s right now in Greater Rift, and it's giving me a little bit more hard time surviving. Actually, not as much damage as I would hope. I'm still killing things and passing, it's just not as fast as I was hoping. On the helm, you want to have the exploding palm damage and having the diamond gem to reduce cooldown. So reduced cooldown of all skills is one of the most important things you want to have, because the more 7-sided strike you can have, the more it's like a tremendous amount of damage. This will set off your exploding palm, and your exploding palms and explode and deal more damage, and so on and so forth. It also gives you more time with Epiphany, which helps you generate your spirit as well as dodge, because reducing your damage, not dodge, but reducing damage. My total toughness is around 34 million, so you can see it's probably because with my follower. My biggest lag or gap in my character is the vitality, and of course damage from not having the ancient gear. You want to have, I did things a little differently, but you want to have regenerating health. So you want to have regenerates 5,000 per second. I have this one 5,000, so 10,000 life per second. This one should have been another 5,000. Hopefully if you get an ancient piece, it'll be a lot higher than that. And then the rest you want to have cold. I have a really bad one. I haven't had a chance to get a better Hellfire amulet. It should definitely have a socket now with the new expansion. It's not really expansion, but new patch. You want to have a lot of critical hit damage. Now if you see, most of my gear doesn't have critical hit chance. I want to have my chance being really low because of the broken promises I have here. So if you look at my details here, my crit chance is only 5%, which is good because the lower I have, the more I can crit. My resistance is quite low, so I'm afraid of lightning, I'm afraid of cold, and I'm afraid of arcane. If you saw my last video, which I don't think I put up, the arcane damage was just killing me, killing me. Super important to have that up. You want to have around 1200 to 1300 if possible. So with gears like this, you can have a nice buff to your resistance to all elements. I have mostly on my gears. You also want to have your secondary to have some kind of resistance, and with the help of harmony, which is in your skills right here, it helps you 40% of your single element resistance from items. Instead, increase your resistance to all elements, which is tremendous. 40% is a lot, so you want to have it on everything if possible. That's what I'm going for. There's a couple of gears that I still need it on, maybe a shoulder piece. Yeah, all around right now what I'm doing, if you have my kind of gear, you can push tier 10. There shouldn't be any issue. You could start with tier 6, build up to tier 7, just getting down the rotation. I'm going with the build that Quinn69 put online with the impending doom. We have 100 fists to generate my spirit, mantra to gain resistance to all, and 35% increased dodge chance. Agility is super important for survivability. Of course, the dashing strike, so that we can get out of those dangerous areas. And Epiphany is super important to, again, reduce damage and also to generate spirit. And seven-sided strike is your most important bomb tool. I'm using near-death experience, die all the time on Greater Rift, so it's super important that I have this so I'm not constantly dying. and wasting time. Beacon of Etar, reduce cooldowns again, super important. And since I'm using 2 one-handed weapons, this gives me another 35% to dodge incoming attacks while using two-handed. All sphere generations increased by 15%. Don't really care about that. More about the dodge I get with the one-handed. Normally I'm pretty good with not dying from attacks. It's the freaking elemental attacks that kills you. Hopefully you get a really nice Hellfire amulet. But after you do that, ask for help from the communities. You get sometimes people tell in Monk's channel, in the power season power leveling channel, to help you. You know, you can leech off people. You can you know, get power leveled. You can get help doing loot sharing from the Monk's channel. Season bounties are important. Now, another part of getting this set is how quickly can you get it, right? So with the Kanai's Cube, utilize this. Utilize the upgrade rare item. You can upgrade one rare item with 25 death breaths. I actually had, this was super important. I didn't have too many death breaths in the very beginning, so I kept farming. These rest of these shouldn't be an issue, but it's the death's breath that's getting the issue normally. You just put everything in here. So let me do one for you. Reusable parts, arcane dust. Okay. Since I don't have that many rares, I'm gonna have to get some from Kadala. Let's see, what do I want? Maybe a shoulder piece. Let's go with shoulder piece. Shoulder piece was the hardest piece for me to get. So what you do is you just come to Kanai's Cube, you put this in there along with the materials needed, which I already forgot. Damn it. So I have the rare item, which is right here. I have the Deathless Breath. You can put just all of them in there. That's what I normally do. I'm too lazy to separate them. The reusable parts, arcane dust, which is not in here, vile crystal. So all of these, and you just press transmute, and then it gives you a legendary item. Now, I didn't get what I was hoping to get, which was the Uliana strength, but you just do this a couple times, you should be able to get a set piece. Now, Kadala has been really stingy with me this season. Maybe she'll be more nicer with you. You have to pray, right? Everything is random chance in this game. Yeah, so ultimately I did get my Remnant, the Remnant set first. I used this along with, in fact, I got everything first before I got my Uliana set. I got a nice Songoku's set. I got a Inna's Temperance, the Inna set. I got the Remnant set. All of this before I had my Uliana set. I'm very happy with this set. I like the playstyle. Yeah, I'm able to push up to Greater Rift 52 now. So as soon as I get some ancient gear and some better gems, I shouldn't get any issue. So just push for that. You shouldn't be having any issue. Alright, good luck to y'all.